Hey guys, my name is Sasha. Today's video, I want to make it on how to avoid relapsing on nofap and semen retention. Now, I've been doing this for a few years now. I started my journey on nofap and semen retention at 16 years old, and throughout the years, I've made it as far as 10 months of semen retention. I'm currently on 4 months, maybe 4.5 months, and I've done many streaks and my journey has progressed, and I've done multiple months, multiple times. I've relapsed at other times, and I want to share my tips on how to avoid relapsing and how to stay on semen retention. So you'll notice that I talked about this in another video, but the first stage is kind of not masturbating, and then once you master that, it's not having sex with girls to not relapse, because once you master nofap, then the only thing that can make you relapse is being with a woman. So that's kind of like you're in a different playing game. If you're trying to not masturbate, it's kind of you versus you, and then with a girl, it's kind of learning to say no to someone else. So it can be situational depending on where you're at with your journey. But what I really want to talk about is that you'll notice that the relapse happens in your mind before it happens in real life. So being on doing sexual abstinence is going to give you a lot of energy, and how you use that energy, how you circulate it. If you're doing spiritual practices like meditation, you're circulating the energy. If you're playing a lot of sports, you're spending your energy, you're getting stronger. Maybe you're working out, maybe you're grinding out at a sport. You're an athlete. I like basketball myself. So if you're doing these things, you're gonna find it easier, because even when you get through phases, because it really goes through phases, this is what I found. You have phases where you're horny, you are tempted to relapse, and then you have phases where you're just like locked in, you just focus on your sport, focus on your projects, and relapsing is not even like an option. So it takes a certain amount of willpower, because I'm at a point where there isn't much urges because my mind is desexualized. Meaning, some people, they'll see a girl with a nice ass, let's say they're in the gym, or they'll see a pretty girl, and that'll kind of like get their mind going, thinking about sexual things. And then when you let that kind of spiral out of control, and then you're just thinking too many horny thoughts, it's kind of like all your energy, instead of being focused on, like I said, circulating the energy on sports, your attention is going to be on that, because energy goes or energy flows where attention goes. I think that is the saying. So as soon as you lose focus and your mind starts to spiral out into sexual thoughts, that is going to lead to the relapse. And then those sexual thoughts grow, and then it leads to relapse. So you need to have the discipline to, once the sexual thought arises, to cut it out and not entertain it. And you'll get to a point where now I feel like it's easy. Like, I don't really spiral out into sexual thoughts, so I can put all my energy into focusing into myself. So that is the best tip I can give you. So be aware of when your mind goes into sexual mode, and it's kind of just like feeding that energy, and have the consciousness to back away from that. And by repeatedly doing that, you'll find it much easier to be on semen retention, as you'll be in control of your sexual energy. And once again, it's important to put your energy into, like I said, sports, personal projects, business, work, whatever you've got going for you, and not just sit on your ass. Because first of all, if you're sitting on your ass, you're more likely to have urges, and quite frankly, you won't have as much energy, because you might just feel tired all the time, because you don't have something to direct your energy to. and you're quote unquote wasting your retention, wasting your power by not using it. I've gone over everything. This is it for this video. Support me and subscribe to the channel as I'm posting currently 6 days a week. I'm doing this for 2 months and I'm just posting raw, unedited talks. So leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.